Hello and welcome back to Gaming Gambit with Aquarium. Today we'll be featuring a new wall with an aquarium and a bunch of new furniture. So let's get started. So today's wall is featured in my own home. It has the Hanatatsu, seahorse in the aquarium, Higgin furniture, some potted plants, a picture of Minfilia, and then some blank portraits, which you can always fill with paintings that you like. You can buy those paintings from Ilskyer, if I pronounced it correctly. There's an NPC there that you can buy paintings for 1k each instead of buying them for overpriced from the market board. So let's get started. So now we've taken everything down. Remember, my house is a medium house, so it's not going to look the same for your house. It can be made for a larger house, which you'll need more furniture and stuff for. It can be made for a smaller one too, but you're reducing quite a bit. So my build just fit perfectly for a medium house. First thing you want to do is you want to get a Keegan sitting table and just place it down in the center. Everything's already centered for you with this tile that I use. So I want to make sure I get it near center as I can. Try to get it as far back as possible, but if you can't, that's alright. After you place the table down, what we're using this table for is measurements, so we can get it as close to the wall as possible, which I'll show you here in a minute. Next, we're going to bring in the aquarium. So, just going to grab my aquarium here. I couldn't place it in my inventory, because if you place it in your inventory, you lose your fish. And I didn't want that happening, so we're going to enable that. And then we're just going to move it around a bit and place it down. Remember, you want to try getting as centered as you can. The grip snap doesn't go as center as I'd hoped. So if you can just move it to where about you want, which about there would be okay. So once you've placed the aquarium down, what you want next is some walls. I'm going to be using the open partition walls, which you can buy from an NPC. I can show you which NPC it is. This one here. I use the Namasu manservant. There are other versions of it, like Lala Falls and all that stuff, which you can always buy in your local housing districts. So now that the aquarium is placed down, what we're going to do is we're going to place down the open partitions. We're just going to make sure they're as centered as possible, which I found that if you leave that little sliver on the left, this one right here, they'll center with your aquarium very well. So we're just going to place that one right there. And then we're going to place another one opposite to that one, about the same distance. As you can see, the aquarium doesn't look like it's centered, so we're just going to move that just a little bit to make sure it's centered about there. So now that we have that placed, we're going to do the sides as well. For the sides, what you want to do first is place a white partition down. What this is going to be for, it's going to be the windows. So what you want to do is place that down. You might have to move things around in it later on, but what you want to do is just place the windows down. You want to make sure they're about even with the open partition, so just place it down. If you can do a little measurement, you can. So we're just gonna place 2 down on this one, there, and then we're gonna pull this one forward, place it down there. Just looks like I can't place it there because of the wall. So I'm just gonna move this wall over just a little bit so I have enough room to place my second window. So we're just gonna place it there. And then we're going to disable counter placement, which moves it to the back, and then it pulls it forward. And then pull it forward like I wanted, so I'm just going to do it again. And then just disable and place, and then close menu. So you can see it pulled forward on itself. So that's going to be our windows for the back. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to place one down as close to the wall as possible, and then we'll place our 2 windows. Remember, enabled counter placement, measure about where you want it, then disable it, moves it to the back, and then pulls forward, and then do it again for the other side. That one didn't sit very well, so I'm just going to do that one again. Move this one a little bit. I need to move the wall actually. Oh, looks like it moved on its own. That's alright. So now once you have those placed, those will be your windows. Now what you want to do is place more open partitions. And then just make sure they're even with the other one. So we're just going to place that one there. And then another one on the left. I want a little sliver on the left just so that there's a little pop instead of the window going all the way to the wall. So we're just going to leave about an inch there. And then do the same thing on the other side. And then we're going to place both those down, and same thing, a sliver at the end, and make sure they measure up with the other partitions. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pull those white partitions forward. So I'm just going to look for them here really fast. There's one, and then just going to make sure they're about there. And then we're going to find the other one. Just there. And then pull that one forward as well. So there we have our both windows. Now we're going to push that back a little bit. Might need to fix the windows on this one because it looks like there's glue under it, which I'll do later on. But for right now, we're just going to move forward. Now, once you have your open partitions and your white partitions placed down, we're going to place the ivy pillars. I like to have this leafy part facing forward, so just want to make sure it's facing forward. Then we're just going to place them down near the center. So we're just going to do disable grip plate snap and place it about there. And then we're going to do the other side as well. Once again, make sure the little ivy vine is facing forward. Make sure it's centered. Place it down there. So that's our wall so far. So now what we're going to do is we're going to place the paintings next. So we're going to go to the inventory and then grab the paintings. We're going to place the paintings next. We're going to place her first. Once again, make sure it's centered. And then we're going to place her there. Then we're going to move over to another painting. I do have this one which already comes with the painting. Then we're going to place it there. And then we're going to grab another grade 1 picture frame and paste it to the right. And I used grade 2 picture frames and place them one on the right try to get it as centered as possible. So we're just gonna place it about there, and then one on the left, just gonna go there. And that's our wall so far. Now we're gonna add some greenery because we like greenery. One of them is gonna go there to the left of the painting, and one of them to the right of the painting. So that's our wall. Now, to complete the wall, we're gonna decorate it a little bit. First things you want to do is put down a potted elephant's ear or elephant's ear. You can use other plants too if you like the dragon tooth one, or if you can afford the fake one. Unfortunately, the fake one costs quite a bit in my server, so we're not going to use that today. So we're going to place one there, and then one on the other side as well. Then we're going to do planter partitions. We're going to place one as close as we can to the potted plants of your choosing, just to hide the bottom, and then one on the other side as well. Make sure it's even. We're just gonna be about there, and that's our wall so far. Next, we're gonna place just some quick decorations. So I like having the oak low barrel planter. We're gonna place it in the center, and then 2 potted azalea flowers, which we're gonna do on the sides. I like to hide the edges of the partition, so we're just gonna place it there, and that's our corner. You can use other things like furniture, bookcases, really anything you want. A hot tub. You could even replace one of these walls with a hot tub and just keep half of it if you wanted to. But personally, this is how I like it. So we're gonna do the other side now. We're gonna place a potted plant first, and then another one on the other side because we like to stay even. And then the oak low barrel planter, which is gonna go in the center. I think I placed that one too far out, so I'm just gonna move it back just a little bit to there. So that's my 2 potted plant sections. Next, what you want to do is measure out the center again. We're going to use a Higgin sofa for this. So I've dyed it white because it looks nicer. It does look really nice in pure white if you can afford it. Unfortunately, my server, because of the new content, it's a little expensive right now. So we're just gonna center it there. Now that it's centered, we're gonna place a Rivera print rug. Forgive me if I said it wrong, but all is forgiven. And then we're gonna center it there. So the couch is right centered into it. Then we're gonna place the chairs, which are also Higgin chairs. And then we're gonna move them here. I like to have them a little off, just so it gives a little more oomph, in my opinion. And then we're gonna just place it there. And then we're gonna measure out how many turns we did from the center. So 1, 2, 3. We're gonna do the same thing with the other side. So we're gonna align it with the wall. 1, 2, 3. Place it down. So that's our chairs. For the little bench I had in the center, I used the clay bench, and it just dyed it black. So we're just gonna place that one there. It looks like a small little coffee table. Couldn't find anything that looks nicer than that, in my opinion. So that's what I think you see. And then next, we're gonna use the dragon floor lamp just to add some lightings. We're gonna place it there, just a little bit off the wall. or the I'm sorry, the pillar, the ivy pillar, and same thing with this side. Off the pillar, place that down, and that's all our furniture. This video did go a little fast, probably because I practiced it a little bit, but just try your best. It does take practice to get everything in the right position, or if you want to max out your room, you can try doing it by disabling grip snap, which can get you a little bit more room by pushing everything back a little further. So hope you like it. Leave a like, comment if you have any comments, and don't forget to subscribe and hang on for next week, which we'll be doing another video. Thank you.